Afternoon everybody. Well, it's now time to start on all these pieces of floorboard that have accumulated over the last couple of years. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to be doing with it all, and I'm sure it's going to generate a lot of comments as and when you see the idea that I have for some of it. But anyway, it's an idea I came up with back in England, and it makes good use of all this waste timber otherwise. So before I start, a big thank you to Hugh, who's on Wouldn't It Be Nice. We've been friends for quite a while, and he recently sent me this mask. It's one he uses himself in his woodworking shop when he's turning pens and bowls and vases and whatever. So he thoroughly recommends it, and he very kindly sent me this with a few filters. So I'll be wearing this today, and I'll let you know how I go with it. But the first thing I want to do with all this timber is use a chop saw, and I want to take off this lip here. When I've done that, I'm going to take it all down to the table saw and then take off, you can see, the tongue and the groove on either side. Just cut into it a little bit just to get rid of them, and then I'll cut them all to size. So watch this space. This is probably going to take Well, that's got us a few cut and enough to be going on with for a short while. Then I'll come and do the rest later. So let's take these down to the table saw and cut them to size. See you down there. This mask works a treat. No just getting through it all. So yeah, well impressed. Cheers you. So I'll leave a link below for Hugh's channel. But anyway, that's given me about, I don't know, 50-60 of these cut lengths. I think I'm going to need around about 200. So no point in watching all of that. I shall continue and come back to you when they're all ready. Yeah, hi everybody. Well, as you can see, I've got a partner in crime for the next week or so, 11 days, whatever. How long is it you're here for?
Till the 28th.
28. So Steve's kindly offered to come and give me a hand, and it's taken you how long to get here?
25 hours by bus.
Yeah, all that way from Derby by bus to here. So how did you get here? What was the route?
We came from Derby down to Victoria bus station in London by National Coach, and then from London over to Paris on the Flixbus.
Is that on the ferry as well?
That's over on the ferry
Right,
too,
okay,
yeah, that's right. And then from Paris, the bus straight through to La Rochelle after a 3 or 4 hour wait, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. And
how long did it take to get from Paris to La Rochelle?
it's 8 hours on the bus with a few stops in between.
Right.
But altogether not too bad, because out of that 8 hours I managed to sleep for 6.
Yeah, it was overnight, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was quite trauma free, really.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's not too bad, because if you go by car to Paris, it's 5 hours from here.
Exactly.
So,
So
and
it's
you
not-
can't sleep, so could you drive?
No, best
Well,
not
you
to.
can, but
Best not to.
end up in hospital for a month. Yeah. So, what do you think you're going to be doing now? You've had a look around the house.
Well, there's a bit of remedial work on the bathroom and toilet area where the ravages of winter damp have taken over. So
Yeah.
clean up, repaint, and
I'm glad you look at it as a bit of.
I always like to look on the bright side
Yeah.
wherever I can. Let's be positive.
Yeah.
And then to attack the garden that again has suffered with not having anybody here for a
Yeah.
while.
I mean, the sad thing is, I'd actually organised a gardener to come while I was away over through the winter, and then I won't say he let me down, but he got another job full time.
Right, okay.
So
How
he couldn't-
inconvenient.
Yeah, he couldn't fit this in as well. But never mind, we've got the strimmer and we'll get it sorted between us, won't we?
Yeah.
Want to do a lot of work on the garden because we want to get it set for the summer for any guests staying.
Precisely,
So, yeah, we need to really get stuck in. And then you go back on the 28th.
That's right.
And then Suze and Mick come over about 4 days later,
That's
don't
right,
we? So
on the
then
3rd of April,
help them there
so-
for about 11 days. So, yeah, we should get quite a lot done. So, right, we'll have a cup of coffee, cup of tea,
And crack on.
and then crack on, as they say, yeah. So we shall catch you later, and I'll keep bringing Steve into the video as we go along, while he's working mainly on the bathroom to start with, because he's got a bit of work to do, as he says. I'll remind you of that in a few days' time.
Absolutely.
Okay, everybody, we'll catch you later. Cheers.
Cheers.
We calculated that we needed another 3 lengths of the worktops that we've been using, and that came out at around about €600. And to be honest, we just don't have the money to spend on those tops at the moment. So we have to think of a plan B. And the reason I've been cutting all of these floorboards to 2 inches wide, varying lengths, is that we're going to attempt to make our own worktops. Now, before you start going on the comments and telling me that pine shouldn't be used in the kitchen, well, I do know people who have used it, but I fully understand that. But we've got plenty of this. We've just got loads and loads of offcuts, so it's free. This kitchen is not going to be used all the time. And we're only going to be here a few weeks of the year, and any heavy duty chopping up or whatever preparing, we will use chopping boards. So this, for me, is a perfect answer. We'll make our own, we'll fix them down, we're going to put a baseboard down, let me show you. So the idea is that we will use full length floorboards as a base. We will fix them to the units. Once they're fixed in place and level, we will then use these 2 inch wide strips. We will stagger them, all different lengths, fix them down, which I'll show you what we're going to do later, treat them and stain them. We've gone with a medium oak colour. Obviously food safe finish on them at the end, and that should do the job. Plus it will save me an absolute fortune that I don't have. So yeah, I know you shouldn't use pine, as I say, but when needs must, you know, you have to go with what you have. and we have lots of this. So that's the idea. I've cut all these up. I'm going to start fitting them to the units and see how it works out. Okay, watch this space, let's see what happens. Talk to you later. Okay, see how you're getting on.
Not too bad, mate. We're halfway there. I've just found a little bit of loose stuff that I'm just scraping off before give it another little wash.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's going on quite nicely on that side.
Yeah,
so
it looks better already, doesn't it?
Halfway there. Yeah, I think another coat will see it off.
Right.
Yeah.
I never knew whether to paint this here. I'll just leave it wood. I thought it looked alright.
I think it looks better as a contrast, really.
Yeah.
Right,
okay.
I can clean those little bits off, that's fine. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll paint to the line that we can see already.
Okay. Great. Okay, I'll leave you to it.
Marvellous.
And we'll have a cup of coffee in a bit.
Excellent idea.
Or a beer. No, we'll have coffee.
Later for beer.
Catch you in a bit.
See you later.
Why is it you can never find any pencils when you're working? You know, you have loads and loads of them, but they just seem to vanish. But Mick, who's coming over in a couple of weeks' time, he sent me a load over. So these should keep me going for a day or two, the way I lose them anyway. So cheers, Mick, much appreciated. It's the little things that count. Okay, well we're progressing, slowly but surely. As you see, I've just made a little template, and this is where the screws are going to go on every piece, and obviously one in the centre on the longer pieces. So that will make sure every screw hole is the same distance from the sides and the top. They won't all be in line, obviously that's the last thing I wanted them to look like a tram line, but yeah, that will help quite a lot. What I've decided to do is I'm going to do one base board, and see how that goes. And then if that's all okay, I'll carry on with the rest of it. I am going to need some longer lengths, and just so you know, and I didn't mention it earlier, we are going to put a trim all the way around to cover all the edges. So yeah, let's give this one board a go. Catch you in a while. So I need to get really deep as far as I can with the countersink, because I want quite a nice depth between the top of the wood and the screw head, so that when I put the filler in there, it's got plenty to grip to. A lot of that has to be done by eye. I can't sort of measure that very easily, but yeah, that seems, I don't know if you can see that, a nice depth, and plenty of screw to go into the wood below it, the base. So we'll go with that, give it a try, put a few down and see what the result is. That's worked okay. It's not perfect. It's almost impossible to get it perfect, but it will certainly give me the look I want. I say I've done this at home with a breakfast bar out of some oak. I don't have any oak, so this is not to do, but I've got some oak stake. And I have a contrast to fill the holes. So yeah, really pleased with that. I've still got another, 11 to do. So yeah, let's get on with it, eh? I'll come back to you when I've done a bit more. I have to say it's nice to be working back on the kitchen again. I made a bit more progress. I'm so pleased to have got this trim on. It bugged me last time that I ran out of MDF, but it's done now. Still got all the teeth to put on, and tomorrow I shall carry on with the top. Probably finish this one tomorrow. So I'm going to go and see how Steve's getting on, and then probably call it a day. Battery's running out, so probably the best time to stop. So catch you tomorrow. Cheers everybody. How are we going then, Maestro? Where we're at?
Right then, well, we've got all the white done, first coat. We've filled a few gaps as well, so it looks a bit tidier. And
that window looks a lot better, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And hopefully with some caulking down the side and the bottom there, we might cure a few drafts and any leaks. Back of the door's done as well.
Right.
So that white is going to need 6 hours now to dry before we put another coat on. So I think we'll get on to the boards this afternoon and get one coat on that at least, and then a second coat tomorrow with a bit of luck.
And how do you think that masonry paint's going to go on there? Do you think it's going to?
I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not very loose. There's a little bit of loose on it, so we'll get a wipe over and get all that off. Maybe a brush.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do any of that with wet paint around. So
fair enough.
We'll leave that till tomorrow morning.
That window looks so much better now.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I'm just going to sort that run out in that top corner.
I should hope so. I noticed that, but I don't want to say anything.
Shoddy workmanship.
The apprentices.
I know.
You're
Shoddy
going to get touchy. Right, okay. Do you want a coffee?
I think we do.
Yeah.
The things that happen, eh? Right, I'll leave that out of there for safety.
God, it looks a bit weak and willing, doesn't it?
It's going to take 2 or 3 coats, I think, but give it a chance.
Yeah, some of it'll soak in, won't it, to the stone, I think.
It's bound to. I won't worry about any little holes until at least the second coat. And this brush is a bit wet, so it might be making a. Let's put a. Yeah, it's going to start to colour up. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
Okay.